Welcome back. And today's topic is how to practice English in your mind all day. Many English learners believe practice needs time, books, or speaking partners. They think, I don't have time to practice English. But here is the truth. You already have time. You just don't use it. Your mind is always active. You think all day. If you learn how to think in English, you practice English all day. No extra time, no extra pressure. This is one of the most powerful habits for fluency. Because language starts in the mind. Before you speak English, you think English. Before you write English, you think English. So if your mind is trained, your speaking becomes easier. Now let's understand the real problem. Many learners study English for years, but their thinking stays in their native language. Then they translate. Translation is slow. Translation creates fear. Translation breaks confidence. Fluent speakers do not translate. They think directly in English. This is the goal. And the good news is you can train this skill anywhere. On the bed, on the road, at work, at home. English practice does not need noise. It needs awareness. Now let's start with a simple idea. Your mind talks all day about problems, about plans, about memories. That inner voice is powerful. Most learners ignore it. But if you change the language of that voice, your English improves naturally. At first it feels strange. Your mind may resist. That is normal. New habits feel uncomfortable. But discomfort means growth. Start small. Do not force full sentences. Start with words. When you see a chair, think chair. When you drink water, think water, cold water. Simple words. This builds connection between objects and English. No translation, no pressure, just awareness. Then slowly move to simple sentences. I am drinking water. I'm sitting. I'm tired. These sentences train real-time English. This is how children learn language. Adults must return to this method. Now let's talk about daily moments. Morning is powerful. When you wake up, your mind is calm. Say simple English sentences in your head. I am awake. Today is a new day. I will do my best. This sets your brain in English mode. During daily activities, keep English running. While walking, describe what you see. People are walking. The sky is cloudy. It is busy. No one hears you. No one judges you. Your mind is your private classroom. Now let's talk about thoughts. You already think about problems. Try to think about them in English. Not perfect English, simple English. For example, I have work. I feel stressed. I need rest. This trains emotional English. Very important because real conversations are emotional. If you can think emotions in English, speaking becomes natural. Now let's talk about fear. Many learners stop mental practice because they think, my English is wrong. Stop that thought. Mental practice is not an exam. No one checks grammar in your mind. Freedom creates fluency. Allow mistakes. Allow broken sentences. Flow matters more than correctness. The goal is continuity. Now here is a powerful technique. Answer yourself in English. When your mind asks a question, answer in English. For example, what should I eat? Answer, I will eat rice. I want something light. This trains conversation inside your mind. This is real practice. Now let's talk about consistency. Do not try to think in English all the time. That creates pressure. Use moments, short moments. Many small moments are better than one long moment. English in the mind should feel light, not heavy, not forced. Now think about progress. After a few days, words come faster. After a few weeks, sentences feel easier. After some time, English thoughts appear automatically. This is the sign of growth. You are no longer translating, you are thinking. This habit changes everything. Speaking becomes easier, listening becomes clearer, confidence grows, because your mind is already prepared. As we continue this series, you'll learn how to combine mental practice with real speaking. Because thinking in English prepares the ground, speaking builds the structure. In the next segment, we will talk about silent speaking techniques, how to move your lips, whisper, and rehearse conversations privately. Because fluency grows even in silence. And your mind is the best place to start. In the first segment, we learned something powerful. You can practice English all day in your mind. No books, no partners, no extra time. Now let's go one step deeper. Thinking in English is the first step. But English is not only thinking, English is also speaking. Many learners believe speaking practice must be loud. They think practice only counts when others hear them. That belief is wrong. Some of the best practice happens silently. This is called silent speaking. Silent speaking means you move your mouth, you form words, you feel sentences, but you make little or no sound. This method is extremely powerful. Why? Because speaking is a physical skill. Your mouth, tongue, and lips must learn English movements. Your brain must connect thoughts to speech muscles. Silent speaking trains this connection safely. No pressure, no judgment, no fear. Now let's understand the problem first. Many learners can think English. They can understand English, but when they speak, their mouth feels slow. Words get stuck. Pronunciation feels hard. This happens because the mouth is not trained. Thinking alone is not enough. The mouth needs practice too. Silent speaking solves this problem. You can practice anywhere, on a bus, in bed, in front of a mirror, at work quietly. No one knows. Your brain and mouth still learn. Now let's start simple. Do not begin with long sentences. Begin with single words. Move your lips and say quietly or silently, "Good." Okay? Today. Problem. Ready? Feel how your mouth moves. This builds muscle memory. Muscle memory makes speaking faster later. Now move to short sentences. I'm ready. I feel tired. I will try. Say them silently. Move your lips clearly. Do not rush. Slow movement builds control. Now let's add rhythm. English has rhythm. Stress matters. Even in silence, you can feel rhythm. For example, I am ready. I feel tired. I will try. Stress trains natural. Sound. This makes future speaking smoother. Now let's talk about whispering. Whispering is silent speaking with light sound. It is perfect when you are alone or in a quiet place. Whisper sentences slowly. Focus on clarity. Whispering removes fear of volume. You are still speaking, just softly. Many learners gain confidence through whispering. It feels safe. Safety encourages practice. Practice builds fluency. Now let's talk about rehearsal. Your mind imagines conversations all the time. Use that. Imagine simple situations: a greeting, a question, a response. For example, "Hello, how are you?" "I'm fine, thank you." "How was your day?" Act it silently. You are training real life English. Your brain does not know the difference between real and imagined practice. Both build skill. This is why athletes visualize. Language learners can do the same. Now let's talk about mirrors. If possible, practice in front of a mirror. Watch your mouth. See how words form. This increases awareness. You do not need to judge your face. Just observe. Observation improves control. Control improves confidence. Now let's talk about fear again. Fear often appears when sound appears. Silent speaking removes that fear. You are free to make mistakes. No one hears. Mistakes become safe. Safe mistakes become learning. Over time, fear loses power. When you later speak out loud, your mouth already knows the path. This is why silent practice is powerful. Now let's talk about daily integration. Do not separate life and practice. Combine them. While brushing teeth, silently say, "I am brushing my teeth." While walking, silently say, "I am walking fast." While waiting, silently say, "I am waiting." These small actions add up. You practice English dozens of times a day without stress, without effort. Now let's talk about patience. Silent speaking may feel slow at first. That is normal. Speed comes later. Fluency grows quietly. Do not expect instant results. Expect steady change. Small daily practice beats big weekly practice. Now let's talk about confidence again. Confidence grows in silence first. When your brain and mouth cooperate, speaking feels natural. Confidence is not noise. Confidence is readiness. Silent speaking creates readiness. Now, here is an important rule. Do not correct yourself too much. Let sentences flow. Correction can happen later. Flow builds fluency. Now, think about your future speaking. One day you will speak out loud and feel surprised. Words will come faster. Sentences will feel lighter. That moment comes from silent practice. Now connect this to the bigger goal. You're not trying to sound perfect. You are training ease. Ease creates fluency. Fluency creates confidence. Confidence creates opportunities. And it all starts quietly. In the next segment, we will talk about narrating your life in English, how to describe actions, thoughts, and situations in real time. Because when English becomes part of your daily life, fluency becomes natural, and your mind and mouth are already learning. In the last segment, we talked about silent speaking. You learned how to move your mouth, whisper, and rehearse English without fear. Now we move to a very powerful habit, narrating your life in English. This habit can change everything. Why? Because you live every day. And if your life becomes practice, English becomes natural. Many learners think practice means special time. But the best practice is already happening. You are living. Narration means this. You describe what you're doing, thinking, or feeling in English, not loudly, not perfectly, just simply. This turns ordinary moments into English training. Now let's understand the problem first. Many learners only use English in lessons. They open a book, they study, they close the book, then English disappears. This creates separation. English becomes a subject, not a skill. But fluent speakers do not separate language from life. They use language to live. Narration fixes this. It connects English to real actions. When English is connected to action, your brain remembers it better. Now let's start simple. Do not narrate everything. That will feel heavy. Start with actions, simple actions. For example, Boris, I am standing. I am walking. I am opening the door. I am sitting down. Say these sentences in your mind or quietly. These are real-time sentences. They train present tense naturally. No grammar study needed. Your brain learns pattern through repetition. Now move to daily routines. While cooking, I am cutting vegetable. I'm cooking rice. I'm waiting. While working, I'm typing. I'm thinking. I'm reading. While resting, I'm tired. I need rest. I feel calm. These sentences may feel boring, but boring is powerful because boring is repeatable. Repeatable habits create fluency. Now let's talk about thoughts. You think all day. Use that. When you feel stressed, say, I feel stressed. I need a break. When you feel happy, say, I feel good. I am relaxed. This is emotional English. Very important. Because real conversations are emotional. If you can narrate emotions in English, you can express yourself naturally. Now let's talk about questions. Your mind asks questions all day. Turn them into English. What should I do next? Why am I tired? What do I need? Then answer them. I need water. I need rest. I will continue. This creates inner dialogue in English. Dialogue is stronger than single sentences. Now let's talk about tense. Do not worry too much. Use simple tense, present, and simple past. That is enough. For example, I finished my work. I talked to my friend. I went outside. Even if grammar is not perfect, meaning is clear. Clear meaning trains fluency. Now let's talk about mistakes. You will make mistakes in your mind. That is good. Mental mistakes are safe. No one hears them. No one judges them. Your brain learns from them quietly. Do not stop narration because of mistakes. Flow is more important. Now let's talk about pace. Do not rush. Slow narration builds clarity. Clear thoughts create confident speech later. Speed comes naturally with time. Now let's talk about environment. You can narrate anywhere, on the road, at home, at work, in a queue. Your life becomes a classroom. No books, no apps, no pressure. This is why narration is powerful. Now let's talk about consistency. Do not try to narrate all day. Choose moments, morning routine, travel time, before sleep. These are natural pauses. Use them. 5 minutes here, 3 minutes there. Small moments add up. Now let's talk about progress. At first you may feel tired. Your brain is learning a new habit. That is normal. After some days, narration feels easier. After some weeks, English thoughts appear automatically. That is success. Now let's talk about confidence. Narration builds confidence quietly. When you speak out loud later, your brain says, I know this, I've done this before. This reduces fear. Now let's connect narration to real speaking. When someone asks you a question, you already have words ready. Why? Because you use them in your mind. Your brain is prepared. Prepared brains speak better. Now remember this important idea. You're not trying to speak perfect English. You are training comfort. Comfort creates fluency. Fluency creates confidence. Confidence creates opportunity. Narration is not magic, it is habit. But habits change lives. In the next segment, we will talk about thinking in short English phrases instead of full sentences. How chunks make English faster and more natural. Because fluent speakers do not think word by word, they think in ready-made pieces, and you can learn this too. In the last segment, we learned how to narrate our daily life in English. We learned that English practice does not need books or special time. It needs awareness. Now we move to the next powerful step, thinking in short English phrases. This habit changes speed. This habit changes confidence. This habit changes fluency. Many English learners try to think in full, perfect sentences. They plan grammar, they plan structure, they plan every word. This makes English slow. This makes English heavy. This creates fear. Fluent speakers do not think like this. They do not build sentences word by word. They think in small pieces. These pieces are called phrases or chunks. Thinking in phrases is the secret of natural English. Now let's understand the problem. Many learners think like this. I must create a correct sentence. This creates pressure. Pressure blocks flow. When flow stops, confidence drops. But real communication does not need perfect sentences. It needs fast, clear meaning. Phrases give fast meaning. For example, instead of thinking, I'm going to start my work now because it is already late, you can think in phrases, start work now. It's late, short, clear, fast. Meaning is complete. Fluent speakers speak this way all the time. Now let's understand what phrases are. A phrase is a small group of words that work together. Examples, right now. No problem. I think so. Not sure. Let's see. That makes sense. These phrases are powerful. They carry meaning without grammar thinking. They come out quickly. They feel natural. Now think about your daily English. You do not need long sentences for most situations. You need reactions, you need responses, you need opinions. Short phrases are perfect for this. Now let's connect this to mental practice. When you think in English all day, do not force full sentences. Use phrases. When you wake up, think, new day, feeling tired and need coffee. When you walk, think, too busy. Nice weather, crowded road. When you work, think, almost done. Need focus. Take a break. These phrases train speed. Speed builds confidence. Confidence builds fluency. Now let's talk about why phrases work so well. Your brain likes patterns. Phrases are patterns. When you repeat phrases, your brain stores them as one unit. Later, they come out automatically. This is how native speakers speak fast. They are not faster thinkers. They use ready-made pieces. You can do the same. Now let's talk about fear again. Many learners freeze because they think, oh no, I don't know how to say a full sentence. Phrases remove this fear. You do not need to know everything. You can speak in parts. Conversation is built from parts. For example, person, how are you? You can say, good, not bad, a bit tired. All are correct. All are natural. No grammar stress. Now let's talk about mistakes. Phrases reduce mistakes. Why? Because phrases are already correct. You hear them often. You repeat them often. They become safe language. Safe language builds confidence. Now let's talk about thinking speed. When you think in full sentences, your mind slows down. When you think in phrases, your mind moves faster. Fast thinking helps real conversations. Real conversations do not wait. Phrases help you keep up. Now let's talk about combining phrases. Fluent speakers connect phrases naturally. For example, not sure, but maybe. Right now, no time. I think so, actually. You can practice this in your mind. Take two phrases, connect them. Simple. Now let's talk about daily practice. Choose 5 to 10 phrases per day. Use them in your mind. Repeat them in different situations. For example, choose right now? No problem. I think so. Use them all day. This builds control. Control builds confidence. Confidence builds fluency. Now let's talk about overthinking. Many learners stop because they think too much. Phrases stop overthinking. They allow movement. Movement is more important than correctness. Now let's talk about real life speaking. When you speak out loud, phrases come first, then sentences follow. For example, well, not sure, maybe tomorrow. This is natural English. Do not try to sound perfect, try to sound real. Now let's talk about listening. When you listen to English, notice phrases, not words, not grammar. Phrases, you will hear them everywhere. Movies, podcasts, conversations. Your brain will start copying them. This is natural learning. Now, let's talk about confidence again. Confidence comes from familiarity. Phrases create familiarity. When you know what to say, fear disappears. Silence disappears. Now let's connect this to the full system. Segment 1, Thinking in English. Segment 2, Silent Speaking. Segment 3, Narrate in Your Life. Segment 4, Thinking in Phrases. All are connected. Thinking prepares. Silent speaking trains the mouth. Narration connects English to life. Phrases create speed and flow. This system works quietly. No pressure, no exams, no fear. Now let's talk about patience. Do not try to learn hundreds of phrases at once. Small sets work best. Quality over quantity. 5 phrases used daily are better than 50 forgotten ones. Now let's talk about progress signs. You will notice these changes. Less translation, faster reactions, shorter pauses, more comfort. These are signs of fluency. Celebrate them. Now let's end with a powerful reminder. Fluent English is not built from perfect sentences. It is built from small, useful pieces used daily. Phrases are those pieces. Use them, trust them, let them flow. In the next segment, we will talk about asking and answering questions in your mind all day. how inner conversation makes real conversation easy. Because English becomes powerful when your mind starts talking back, and that habit starts now. In the last segment, we learned how to think in short English phrases. We learned that fluent speakers do not build long sentences in their heads. They use small pieces that move fast. Now we take the next natural step, turning your mind into a conversation partner. This means asking and answering questions in English inside your mind. This habit is extremely powerful. Why? Because real English is not monologue. Real English is dialogue. Conversation is built on questions and answers. If you train this inside your mind, real conversations become much easier. Now let's understand the problem first. Many learners can describe things in English, they can narrate actions, they can think in phrases, but when someone asks a question, they freeze. Their mind goes blank. This happens because they never practice questions. They practice statements, not interaction. Asking and answering questions fixes this gap. Now let's start with a simple truth. Your mind already asks questions all day. What should I do next? Why am I tired? What do I need now? These questions already exist. You just ask them in your native language. All you need to do is switch the language. That's it, no new habit, just a language shift. Now start very small. Do not ask complex questions. Start with basic ones. What am I doing? What do I need? What time is it? Then answer them. I am working. I need water. It is late. This is a complete English practice loop. Question, answer. This loop builds readiness. Now let's talk about why this works. When you ask a question, your brain searches for meaning. When you answer, your brain organizes language. This activates both understanding and speaking skills. Even though it happens silently, the brain treats it like real conversation. This is deep practice. Now let's talk about daily life. Use questions during daily actions. When you wake up, ask, how do I feel? Answer, I feel tired. I feel okay. When you work, ask, what should I do next? Answer, I will finish this. I need a break. When you feel stressed, ask, why am I stressed? Answer, too much work. Need rest? These are real-life questions. They train practical English. Now let's talk about simplicity. Do not search for perfect grammar. Simple. Questions are enough. What now? Why this? What next? Simple answers are enough. Not sure? Too busy? Later? Meaning matters more than structure. Now let's talk about speed. Questions make your thinking faster. Why? Because they push your brain to respond. This reduces hesitation. Hesitation is the enemy of fluency. Practice removes hesitation. Now let's talk about confidence. When you practice questions mentally, you stop fearing questions in real life. Your brain says, I know this pattern. Familiar patterns feel safe. Safety creates confidence. Now let's talk about common situations. Think about daily conversations, greeting someone, ordering food, asking for help. You can rehearse all of them in your mind. For example, what do you need? I need help. Can I help you? Yes, please. Are you free? Not right now. These Short exchanges train real conversation. Now let's talk about imagination. You do not need real people. Imagine them. Imagine a colleague. Imagine a friend. Imagine a stranger. Ask simple questions. Answer them. Your brain does not care if it is real or imagined. Practice is practice. This is why mental rehearsal works. Now let's talk about mistakes again. You will make mistakes in your mind. That is good. Mental mistakes are safe mistakes. They prepare you for real life. Never stop because of mistakes. Flow is more important. Now let's talk about emotion again. Questions help express emotion. How do I feel? Why am I angry? What do I want? Answering these in English builds emotional fluency. Emotional fluency is powerful because real conversations are emotional. If you can express feelings in English, you can connect deeply. Now let's talk about habit building. Do not try to do this all day. Choose moments, morning, waiting time. Before sleep, ask 2 or 3 questions. Answer them. That is enough. Consistency matters more than quantity. Now let's talk about connection with previous segments. Segment 1, train thinking in English. Segment 2, train silent speaking. Segment 3, train narration. Segment 4, train phrase thinking. Segment 5, trains interaction. All skills connect. Together they build fluency quietly. Now let's talk about progress signs. You will notice faster answers, less translation, shorter pauses, more comfort with questions. These are strong signs. Celebrate them. Now let's talk about patience. Fluency does not come in one day, but daily mental conversation creates steady growth. Trust the process. Now, let's talk about real speaking. When someone asks you a question, your mind will react faster. Why? Because you already practiced. Practice removes shock. Shock creates fear. Fear blocks speech. Practice removes fear. Now, remember this: you do not need perfect questions. You need usable questions. You do not need perfect answers. You need honest answers. Communication is human. Now let's close with a powerful reminder. Every conversation starts in the mind. If your mind is active in English, your mouth will follow. Ask questions, answer them all day, quietly, naturally. In the next segment, we will talk about thinking in English before sleep and after waking up. How these 2 moments can double your progress. Because the mind is most powerful when it is calm, and that calm moment is closer than you think. In the last segment, we learned how to ask and answer questions in our mind. We learn that English becomes stronger when the mind starts a conversation with itself. Now we move to a very special stage. Using morning and night for English thinking. These 2 times are extremely powerful. Why? Because the mind is calm. Because distractions are low. Because habits form easily. If you use English in these moments, your progress becomes faster. Many learners waste these moments. They wake up and check phones. They go to sleep with random thoughts. But these moments can become your secret advantage. Now let's understand the science in a simple way. When you wake up, your mind is fresh. It is not full of noise. When you go to sleep, your mind is relaxed. It is open, What you think during these times goes deeper. This is why morning and night habits are powerful. Now let's start with the morning. Do not rush. When you wake up, do not grab your phone immediately. Take 1 minute, just 1 minute. Start with simple English thoughts. I am awake. It is morning. Today is a new day. These sentences wake your English brain. They set the language mode. Now add feeling. How do I feel? I feel sleepy. I feel okay. This connects English to emotion. Emotion makes language real. Now add intention. What will I do today? I will work. I will try my best. Do not plan everything, just simple thoughts. Simple English is enough. This morning habit trains your brain gently. No pressure, no grammar, just flow. Now let's talk about why this works. Morning thoughts create direction. If English enters your mind early, it stays longer. Your brain becomes ready. Later in the day, English feels more natural. Now let's move to night. Night is different. Night is reflection time. Before sleeping, your mind reviews the day. Use this moment. Think about your day in English. What did I do today? I worked. I talked to someone. I felt tired. Use simple past. No stress. Meaning matters. Now add reflection. What went well? Good work? Nice moment. What was difficult? Too busy. Need rest. This builds self-expression. Self-expression is the heart of fluency. Now let's talk about why night practice is powerful. What you think before sleep often repeats in your mind. Your brain continues working. If English enters here, it becomes deeper memory. This is natural learning. Now let's talk about fear again. Many learners think my English is bad, so I should not think in English. This is wrong. Mental English does not need permission. It does not need approval. It is your private space. Freedom creates fluency. Now let's talk about consistency. You do not need long time. 1 minute in the morning, 1 minute at night, 2 minutes a day. That is enough. Small habits repeated daily change everything. Now let's connect this with previous segments. Segment 1 taught thinking in English. Segment 2 taught silent speaking. Segment 3 taught narration. Segment 4 taught phrase thinking. Segment 5 taught inner conversation. Morning and night combine all of them. You think, you ask, you answer, you narrate. You use phrases all quietly, all naturally. Now let's talk about common mistakes. Do not force long sentences. Do not correct every mistake. Do not judge yourself. Judgment kills habit. Gentleness builds habit. Now let's talk about patience. Some days you forget. That is okay. Return the next day. Habits grow slowly, but they grow surely. Now let's talk about progress signs. You may notice English thoughts appear automatically. Less translation during the day. More comfort with speaking. Less fear of silence. These are strong signs. Now let's talk about confidence again. Confidence grows when English feels familiar, morning and night. Practice create familiarity. Familiar things feel safe. Safe things feel easy. Easy things get used more. Now let's talk about real speaking. When you wake up with English and sleep with English, your day is surrounded by English. Speaking becomes natural. You do not feel switching language. English becomes part of you. This is the real goal. Now let's talk about mindset. Do not think, I must practice perfectly. Think, I will stay connected. Connection matters more than perfection. Now let's close with a powerful reminder. Fluency is not built in loud moments only. It is built in quiet moments. Morning and night are quiet. Use them. Let English enter softly. Let it grow naturally. In the final segment, we will bring everything together and build a simple all-day mental English system that you can follow for life. Because fluency is not a short challenge, it is a lifestyle. And that lifestyle starts in your mind. In the last segment, we learned how powerful morning and night thinking can be. We learned that calm moments train the mind faster than noisy ones. Now we move to the final and most important step, building an all-day mental English system. This system connects everything you have learned so far. It turns English into a natural habit. It removes pressure. It removes forgetting. This system does not need extra time. It works inside your normal life. Now let's understand one important truth. Fluency is not built by one strong habit. Fluency is built by many small habits working together. You already learn those habits. Thinking in English, silent speaking, narrating life, thinking in phrases, asking and answering questions, using morning and night. Now we connect them. Think of English like background music. It does not play loudly all the time, but it never fully stops. That is the goal. Now, let's design the system step by step. First, understand this rule. You do not practice English all day. You touch English many times a day. Touching is light. Touching is easy. Touching is repeatable. Heavy practice creates resistance. Light practice creates habit. Now let's look at a normal day. Morning starts the system. You wake up, you think simple English. I am awake. New day, I will try. This switches your brain to English mode. No effort, no force. Now the day begins. You move, you work, you live. During the day, use micro moments. Micro moments are short pauses, waiting, walking, sitting, thinking. In these moments, do one thing. Use a phrase, right now. Too busy. No problem? Let's see. One phrase is enough. Then stop. Do not continue. Light touch. Then release. This keeps English alive without stress. Now let's add narration. During actions, describe briefly. I am walking. I am typing. I am waiting. One sentence, then stop. This trains real-time English. Now let's add questions. Your mind already asks questions. Switch them to English. What now? What next? Why tired? Answer simply, need rest. Too much work. Question and answer, then move on. Now let's add silent speaking. When you are alone or quiet, move your lips slightly. Say phrases. Say short sentences. No sound needed. This trains the mouth. The mouth learns silently. Now let's add emotional English. When you feel something, name it. I feel stressed. I feel calm. I feel happy. Emotion words make English real. Real language sticks. Now let's talk about balance. Do not try to do all habits at once. That creates pressure. The system works naturally. Some moments you narrate, some moments you use. Phrases. Some moments you ask questions, not all, not always. Flow matters. Now let's talk about what to avoid. Do not judge your English. Judgment stops habit. Do not say, my English is bad. Say, my English is active. Active English grows. Now let's talk about consistency. Missing one day is not failure. Stopping completely is. If you forget, return gently. Habits survive kindness. Now let's talk about progress signs. You may notice these changes. English thoughts appear without effort. Translation reduces naturally. Speaking feels lighter, fear becomes smaller. These are strong signals. Do not rush progress. Progress is quiet. Now let's connect this system to real speaking, because the goal is not only thinking, the goal is speaking with ease. When your mind is active in English all day, your mouth follows easily. Speaking becomes continuation, not start. This removes fear. Now, let's talk about long-term effect. This system works for months. This system works for years. It does not depend on motivation. It depends on habit. Habit beats motivation. Now let's talk about identity. Stop seeing yourself as someone learning English. See yourself as someone using English daily. This identity changes behavior. You stop waiting. You start using. Now let's talk about perfection again. Perfection is not needed. Connection is. You are building connection with English. Connection creates fluency. Now let's close this series with a powerful reminder. English is not a subject. English is not an exam. English is a tool for life. You do not need more time. You need more awareness. You do not need more rules. You need more use. Your mind is always with you. Use it. Let English live there, quietly, gently, daily. This is how fluency grows. Not suddenly, but surely. And that journey starts now.